Welcome into Behind the Glass. Mikey McNuggets, Earl the Pearl. We got Anthony Antonelli sitting behind the glass. It is a Friday morning. We're
yes,
coming
it
at
is.
you guys. And the theme of today's show, bad timing, guys.
Bad time.
We happened to figure out three things. Well, 2.5 that are related to bad timing. But let's start with the one that we may have caused. Now, we actually didn't cause anything for the record because Isaac Okoro ran into a Nets player on Monday. And on Thursday, we did a topic, hey, can you trust Isaac Okoro's three-point shot in the playoffs? We finished the topic at 11:47. At 12:01, the Cavs announced that Isaac Okoro is going to miss at least 2 weeks with an AC strain in his shoulder. So bad timing.
Bad timing.
Earl, I want to start with you. Do you believe that we have any blame in the Isaac Okoro injury situation for doing a topic that literally 13 minutes ago or 13 minutes before led to some unfortunate news?
I think, no, we don't have any blame for doing that topic. I think what happens is we have some blame for the topic that we held back because that player was the guy that came off the screen and injured Isaac Okoro. So I don't know if that guy would be a candidate anymore.
It was not a dirty play. It was a very, very, very normal
it's
play.
definitely a bummer. You know, Isaac Okoro is coming on. He got the second highest three-point percentage of any player with 2.5 three-point attempts per game. And you just see his impact on his team defensively and even more so now this year offensively. So, you know, I guess the only upside of it is, you know, he get the rest up. The Cavs are in a good situation. And we get Max Strus back. So we'll be all right.
And I know you weren't here the last few days. Welcome back, by the way. How's the apartment? You feel moved in?
It's nice. I've been off social media basically for the week setting it up, so it's been kind of a nice break. And before you even ask your question, I take no blame. It's your fault. I wasn't here.
Fair enough. It's actually funny, and Ant is back. He's moved in. Do you have a couch? Is everything set up? Like, are you in an habitable apartment now?
Couch got delivered yesterday. Nobody got hurt on the steps because my steps were broken. Mike can attest.
He does have a broken second step.
Other than that, yeah, it's all good.
We had a conversation about you, and I told Mike, I said, you know, Ant is a better man than me and Mike because you know how to put life in proper perspective. You know how to step away and do what's necessary to maintain your balance. Me and this man would never step away to get our house together. We wouldn't. We know it's the right thing to do. We know it's the responsible thing to do. But you're more responsible than us,
I've been in my apartment for 2.5 years. It's not as put together as yours is in 2.5 days. I guarantee
it's not a responsibility thing. If I don't have everything put together and like in a spot, I'll lose my mind. I'll get fired because I won't. I just won't be able to function. Like, it's
he
just,
said I won't even show up.
See, we thrive in
it's
chaos
a thing I just have to do.
and thrives in calmness.
Yeah, like it's just something. I did it in college. Like my dorm had to be set up within the first week of classes, or I was failing something. So
it ain't just with this
I'm
though.
Used to.
Like we've all been together for some time now. You know,
almost 2 years.
Yeah, like we're gonna be here for a while, but
we just got resigned, so we ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, but to just learn those relationships and just learn each other, Ant has always been that one out of the three of us that, you know, when it's time to handle real life, this gets pushed to the
100%.
side, and I respect that about him. You can learn that.
100%. Back to the Okoro thing real quick. It is interesting because Kenny has some decisions now. Strus coming back or not. Dean Wade's going to get some of those minutes at the 3. And if Dean Wade's playing minutes at the 3, that means Georges Niang's going to get more minutes at the 4. And that means this Tristan Thompson become your fourth big. Can you trust it? That's where the lack of depth in the front court really comes into play. And if you have to trust and rely on Georges Niang to be your one, I don't want to say real backup big because he's more of a wing than a big, but he's a big body. Can you survive a 3-4 week stretch with him getting those minutes against that physical of a front line without breaking down? And I know it seems weird because Okoro is playing 20 minutes a game, but the way you have to shift guys over to fill those 20 minutes is going to put a lot of pressure and it take a physical toll on some of the other guys, which down the road could be a bigger issue for the Cavs.
I think that, you know, we're going to find out, right? Yeah. Because this is a challenge for Kenny Atkinson, but this is one of the few times this season to where the Cavs coaching staff has really been challenged with some lineup adjustments. You know, you got a guy like JT Thor that I thought about that's on a 2-way contract that might get an opportunity to get about 7 minutes a game during this stretch. Who knows? You know, as far as relying on Tristan Thompson, he's a savvy veteran. He's been that coach that's not a coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, I would say just figure out a way to take Isaac minutes and divide those up between 2 or 3 guys, you know what I mean, that can give you something, right? Because with Strus coming back, it helps you there. But you still got to make sure that you can take care of their front court. You don't want to overuse Niang, and if Niang is not durable, then he really can't do what we need him to do best. But JT Thor was the first person that came to mind. See if you can, he's on that 2-way contract. Just see if you can find a way to use him and get him some minutes. He's a wing. He can shoot the ball. He can defend a little bit. So that would be something that I would consider.
Yeah, it's not that Niang's not durable. He played all 82 games last year. Like, he is very durable. It's just it's putting him in a position he's not necessarily used to being in as your first big off the bench against an opposing team's first big. And when you look at Strus and Merrill and LeVert and all the guys that can take the minutes of Okoro, none of those guys are primary defenders, right? Like, that was what Ice's biggest job on the team was. That's why Dean Wade, I think, in those situations where they got a scoring wing, well, Dean Wade's the guy you want in there. It just puts a little stress on their front court. But you'd rather have this problem now in December and have 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks to figure out, can we slide guys over, can they fill in before the trade deadline, than have this happen in March and you be stuck with your team and say, well, shit, I don't know who we're going to play and how we're going to fill it. This is the time to experiment, see if it's JT Thor, see if it's Luke Travers. I don't think he necessarily fits the mold as much as Thor does, but this is the time to experiment and see how you can handle a loss of a guy like Okoro, who's not your star, but plays an important role on the team.
He plays a significant role on this team. He's one of those X factors, in my opinion. His contribution, like I said earlier in the show, both ends of the court is significant. And this is a guy who's gaining confidence shooting the ball. And when you see that, and that's another aspect that makes the Cavaliers even more dangerous. Because if he's going to continue to shoot like that, if a guy like Evan Mobley is going to continue to shoot with that type of confidence, and you're getting the contributions you're getting off the bench from Karis LeVert, Niang, et cetera, then this Cavs team is poised to do some things that we didn't expect them to do at the beginning of the season.
Big facts. And I'm going to come to you next for this next topic. I'm coming to you first for this next topic, excuse me. So we all know Anthony's a Broncos fan.
Yes, he is.
And he has a Broncos Super Bowl poster at his childhood bedroom I saw when I helped him move out. So Anthony is not faking it. It is real.
This is who he is.
He's a legit Broncos fan. And the news came out, we talked about it yesterday on the show, that the Broncos were set to trade Jerry Jeudy, who's having a terrific season with the Browns, to the Jets. They were in what they thought were the final stages of that deal. And then the Jets owner, Woody Johnson, apparently, according to The Athletic, looked at Madden ratings and said, we're not trading for a 76. No, it's not worth giving up assets for. Vetoed the trade. Jeudy ends up coming to Cleveland instead. He's having an 1,000-yard season. It's his best season of his career. He's top 5 in the NFL currently in receiving yards. And when you heard that the Broncos got a deal denied due to Madden ratings, I know it wasn't your team that denied it, but from a Broncos fan standpoint, how do you feel about this entire story unfolding with the, let's just say, lack of normal circumstances around that particular thing?
So I was with Tyvis yesterday. I'm sure it's real. Like, that story came out. I don't know how to believe it, though. Like, it's so stupid and it's so absurd. I'd believe Jimmy Haslam would do it. I don't know enough about the Jets organization. I know their owner is an absolute
Woody
clown.
Johnson, by the way, his name.
But when I read the article that we texted yesterday about it, it sounds like he asked his sons, and his sons were like, well, we played
that was
Madden.
for a different part of the trade.
Oh, was that a different part of the trade?
Yeah, they looked at the Madden ratings for John Simpson.
Oh, okay.
But they ended up signing anyway, but his sons said his awareness rating is really low. I'm not sure if he's a good fit.
Like, what a joke.
He was overruled.
Could you imagine?
That's according to The Athletic. Not me. This is according to The Athletic.
Could you imagine if one of, like, Jimmy Haslam's grandkids that was on the sidelines looks at Kevin Stefanski and goes, no, you can't put him in. His Madden rating's too low. Kick him into the stands.
If you want to believe reports, he listened to a homeless guy.
Hey.
So
That's true.
What's worse,
is that how we drafted Johnny,
I'm just asking the question.
Weren't his grandkids on the sideline when we lost that Jets game?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't think they were talking to Kevin Stefanski.
Maybe they told the defensive coordinator to call a certain type of defense, and they had to. Who knows, man?
But real quick, was the homeless guy, did he get us Manziel or did he get us Baker? I don't remember.
No, it was Manziel.
It was Johnny Manziel.
It was Johnny Manziel.
Will you actually? Okay. I wasn't here for that. Will you feel? What was the full story of that?
I can't recall, man, to be totally honest with you. Like, I was an average fan at the time, had a lot going on. Like, I just know he asked a homeless guy who the Browns should draft. He said Johnny Manziel. That's the story that was put out there. But it's funny because, like, we all play Madden. And Madden franchise mode, you get to be a GM, you get to be the owner, you could build a stadium at any time of the year. You can make any move that you want to make.
You don't got to go through the legal process of building a new stadium. I just click a button.
You just do what the hell you want to do. And it's damn near blasphemy, man, to know, like, I hope this story wasn't real. Jerry Jeudy said it was fake news. But, like, I hope this not real, right? Like, NFL owners are really not making decisions based off video games, right? Like, this is not really what the situation is.
I wouldn't put anything past them, dude.
That's crazy, man.
So, first off, I know the vetting process the Athletic has to go through to get a story like this published. Coming from someone who worked in regular news before, and then knowing the standard the New York Times has, and knowing just from talking to Jason, like, what he has to go through to get some of his smaller stories vetted, this was a giant story.
Yeah.
Multiple contributors. There's no way the Athletic and the New York Times allowed them to put that in there.
If it wasn't true.
Unless it was, well, here's the thing with true, who knows? Did multiple people tell Diana Rossini, Mike Silver, and Zach Rosenblatt the same exact story to where they could confirm it from multiple sources? Yes. It would not have been in the story unless multiple people within however they talked to. I also talked to someone else yesterday, not involved with the Athletic, who told me they heard this story months ago, but they're not in a position to report it.
See,
so that tells me this is very, very
But you know what, though? We sit here, we joke about it, and it's a fun thing to have this conversation about, but this is part of the problem in sports sometimes, right? Bad ownership is real.
Very real. And very, very real.
We sometimes, we don't look at the total umbrella, right? Because the GM, chief strategy officers, the coaches, the players, et cetera, everybody falls under that umbrella of the owner. And if the owner is not a good owner, if the owner is a guy who's persuaded to make deals or not based on Madden ratings or what people say on the street, et cetera, like, that's not a good business model.
Nope.
And it shows that you don't trust the people that you put in place to do their job. It's like, you got the money, you got the power, this is yours, and you want to have a hand in every single pot. And, like, that shows a lack of trust in your delegation. And
also, I think from an ownership standpoint, like Woody Johnson, let's use him for an example, right? Because this is the story at hand. He's not a football guy. He was born into money. He's never been told no in his life. How does he want to stay relevant, or how can he stay relevant in discussions that he's not part of, right? Like, he doesn't have a football background. Madden, right?
Yeah.
Like, as dumb as it sounds, like, I kind of get it. And if his kids are like, and I didn't like the Athletic naming the kids, by the way. They're minors. Like, you could say his kids. I didn't like mentioning their names. That was my one beef with the story. But I could see how he can be influenced by something as stupid as that, because that's all he has and all he knows, right? Like, I'm not a chef, but if I watch the Food Network for 10 minutes and I see someone do something, I'll be like, that probably works. That's better than what I know. Woody Johnson playing Madden's more experience playing football than he probably ever had in his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so as crazy as it sounds, like, I kind of see how these things happen, or I kind of can understand. Now, it shouldn't, because someone should be like, Woody, no, like, Madden's not real life. This should never happen. But I can understand how these guys are swayed by something as stupid and trivial as a Madden rating.
If you didn't see the latest episode of the Ultimate 216 show, go check it out. But Cecil talked about, you know, when you look at the Cleveland situation, he said the Browns need to hire a head coach and general manager combination that's going to be willing to challenge Jimmy Haslam and Paul DePodesta. Because if this is going to be what it is, Jimmy calls the shots, Paul got his hand, or whatever the case may be.
It's never going to work.
It's never going to work unless you got guys that really got that in them to push back and say, hell no, this is not right, this is not smart, we should be doing X, Y, and Z instead of doing this. And as long as you got dudes in the building that don't want to push back, then your team is going to always be in that situation. This man is a diehard Broncos fan, and he's told me and you in private plenty of times he didn't feel like the Broncos should have traded Jerry Jeudy to begin with. He's always said that. And At really don't get that crazy with the sports as me and you do. No. And so to know, like, Jerry Jeudy was always a talented football player, at said time, did he live up to being the 15th, what was he, the 15th overall pick?
15th pick, yeah.
Like, in the first round? No, he didn't, but it's not like he was pure trash. The man was still putting up 600-700 yards. You know, he unlocked, and you seeing his full potential on display here. I'm glad we got him, but, like, that's crazy that you can let a video game, like, deter you from making a move that can be a positive impact for your franchise.
It's just crazy, and I want you to weigh on this, then we're going to get to our last topic. But you paid these really smart guys, or who are supposed to be really smart guys to run your football franchise, right? Like you pay a general manager and scouting and talent developers. And when you're in the room and they're like, hey, we want to trade for Jerry Jeudy, and you're like, no, Madden says no. Like, why pay the guys? Like, if you're just going to do that, just be like us and just run a Madden. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like his Madden rating, don't trade for him on Madden. But I once again, I understand. None of the process makes sense. And I'm just super happy that story came out yesterday. We were talking about the Browns being the beneficiary of the Jets screw-up and not vice versa. Can you imagine if that story was flipped? Seriously, for 1 second, just allow yourself to imagine if the story came out that Jimmy Haslam vetoed a Jerry Jeudy trade because of the Madden rating. He got traded to the Jets, and with Aaron Rodgers putting up monster numbers. What is the reaction? And I'm coming to you next. What's the reaction in Cleveland yesterday morning if that story just was reversed team-wise?
I know Cleveland. I know our fan base. This is the same fan base that threw a parade for 0-16. We see how passionate we are. Somebody would have started a petition for Jimmy Haslam to sell this team. Probably wouldn't have went nowhere, but somebody would have started a petition somewhere that says Jimmy Haslam needs to sell this team. Yeah. I guarantee you that.
And what do you think?
I don't know, man. At this point, like, the fact that people still vote that he's the best owner because he spends money, it's like, I don't know what it's going to take for people to realize Jimmy's incompetent as an owner. That might have done it. Madden ratings may have done it, and I would hope that would have been the last straw. But at this point, I don't know what that last straw is going to be.
Fair enough. All right, looking to our last topic, or I want you to set this one up because Ant has no idea what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, so like we was thinking about like a little behind the glass. We was thinking about something for our last topic, and on the behind the glass, we like to have some fun, talk about some real life topics, and we were talking about bad timing, and the Heisman Trophy winner. Shout out to you, Travis Hunter. He's been all in the media, social media, etc. But not all of it is because he's won the Heisman Trophy. His fiance has been catching a lot of backlash and heat just for some of the comments made. People just all in their business, Mike, all in their relationship. You go back a couple weeks ago, I think after a big game, they seen her coming out the stands and it looked like she was fussing at him. Mm-hmm. That's where it started.
Yep.
And now it just seemed like this whole thing has taken an ugly head to where, he feels like if you disrespecting her, you disrespecting him. This is a young man that's, should be enjoying winning the Heisman Trophy, but like he's learning real quick in real time, like this is all what comes with being a superstar athlete.
So, and I guess we want to start with you because you didn't see any of the videos. You've seen none of the Heisman ceremony. What's the right word I'm looking for? Controversy?
Yeah.
She was the last one to stand up, and people were analyzing the video. She had once said Travis Hunter's not her type. Now they're engaged. She made an 8-minute long TikTok video that I'm going to save my thoughts on for a sec. But
Tell me, what's the TikTok video?
She was trying to defend herself.
Yeah.
As to all the outside speculation. It has gotten to the point where Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp are talking about it on their platforms. It made it to First Take.
It's on UCSS.
It's behind the glass.
It's been a year. I guess the question is, okay, I guess you're going to have to just react how we feel about this because you didn't see it. I'm not sure how to ask the question. Earl, what did you think of the 8-minute TikTok she posted?
I thought it made the whole situation worse.
I 100,000,000% agree.
I thought it made the whole situation worse because you got to understand the type of time we on. This is 2024. All three of us know how social media work and how people can take everything, cut it up. Now, your 8-minute video is 16 different memes with 16 different topics on it. And some of the things that she said in the video I thought was a contradiction.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you just opened it up to more criticism. And you just have to understand, kind of like us, right? Like we're producers and we're growing in our own roles, but even we face certain criticism and certain feedback and backlash from the outside audience. And when you put yourself in any situation to where your occupation is on public display, then you open yourself up for that. And you got to be built for that. And you got to understand that's what comes with it. But I thought that was a bad move. I get it from a human standpoint. It's hard to stand steadfast and be silent when you feel like your character is being attacked, when you feel like your relationship is under attack. Like, these are things that make you angry. These are things that hurt your heart. And it's hard to stand in silence when you feel like you're under attack. But sometimes, man, like when you are in an emotional state and you feel like you got to react right then and there, you can make a situation a whole lot worse than what it really is. Not
only that, but if you look at the series of events that led up to that 8-minute TikTok video, not saying anything, she did nothing wrong, right? Like, it's all perception. There's the video of her looking upset after Travis Hunter has maybe his best game of the season. There's the video of her saying, why am I here if you're just going to take pictures with female fans? There was the whole Heisman ceremony thing where she was the last one to stand up and the first one to sit down after he won. All those individually bad looks, when you put them back to back to back to back, people are naturally going to draw conclusions. And when your relationship is in the public eye, which there's very, very much is, Travis streams. By the way, Travis Hunter seems like, from all accounts, like the highest character guy in the world.
He does. He seems like he's a really high energy kid.
He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He streams on Twitch, and him and his fiance, like, they make TikTok. Like, we don't know them. I don't know her. I don't know him. Whatever. I'm just saying what they seem from the outside. He seems like a really high character guy. Hard not to like his personality. When you see those back to back to back to back, and you put your life in the public, which they do via TikTok and social media all the time. He made a YouTube video when he proposed to her, and the whole set, like, they filmed the whole thing. Like, that's what comes with it. And that's what comes with it. You have to accept that before you get into the situation because you know that's part of it. And when she tried to defend herself, A, the contradictions throughout the video were a lot. B, 8 minutes is way too long for a video. You lost my attention in a minute and a half. And that's not your fault. That's today's society. So the first 90 seconds of the video was her saying, like, I feel like I had to do this. Well, I couldn't even get to how you defended yourself because I was
look, full disclosure for our audience, because we're laughing, but, like, our point of view is different. Like, we're producers, we're content creators, we're in this industry. I cannot stand when I watch something and it's that slow-ass rev up.
No.
Get to it.
There's a guy on TikTok who talks about books, and, like, the first 15 to 30 seconds of every video is, all right, book talk. Let me get into the. Just tell me about the book, dude.
Do you know why they put, like, soap cleaning videos next to stand-up comedy skits on TikTok? Do you see, or like power washing videos?
No.
It's because our attention span is so short. You can listen through one side and watch on the other, and you're not going to watch a guy just stand on screen telling a joke for 2 minutes, but you will watch 38 cut-ups real quick of someone power washing signs and cars, or soap cutting, or
those are very satisfying. Yeah,
they're satisfying videos. So my point is, we're all, as a society, our attention spans are shorter than they ever have been in the world. I think that's why Vine was the greatest social media platform of all time. If you couldn't make someone laugh in 6 seconds, move on. You know why they picked 6 seconds? That's our attention span. It might even be shorter now. I saw something that was like 10 seconds. I don't think it's even 10 seconds. How many TikToks do you scroll through? Do you actually listen to 10 seconds?
Not too many.
10%?
Not too many.
There has to be. So my whole point, yes, I look at it from but my point is, if you're doing an 8-minute video, like, rearrange it. Get your stuff out first. And I guess my big point is, you knew what you were signing up for, and frankly, and this I'm not stealing a point from Shannon Sharp or Ochocinco, I forget who said it, but you're in this position because of who Travis Hunter is and what he's accomplished. And if you're going to be upset that he's signing autographs and some of the fans happen to be female, that ain't changing. That ain't getting easier or worse. And if you can't deal with that now, you might as well just get out of it before it gets 10
Maybe
times
it's
worse.
a situation to where she's thinking how you get him is how you lose him. She said in the video when he first hit her up, he had a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't stop him from hitting her up. Now, things probably has changed and progressed in both of their lives, but, you know, he's this superstar athlete now, and she's probably thinking of that mindset of, well, damn, he was in my DMs and he had a woman who's to say he's not in somebody else's.
I'm not saying he's without fault. I'm not saying he's without
to your point, like, if you know you can't handle that right now and this man ain't really made it to the next level yet, then you might want to bow out. And we see this all the time, right? From athletes, from entertainers, etc. It is so hard, man, to keep your personal life from your private. G joked with me one day and said, man, if you look on your Instagram, all you see, and we follow each other, all you would see is pretty much this. And I get to the point I don't even post my kids no more, right? You know what I mean? Like,
I think you do like birthday posts. That's
it's like it's things like that, man. And naturally, because we're a lot of like, I don't want my right knowing my left hand doing anyway. Like, I just try to keep as much as that separate. And so I know like that shit is probably 10 times, 20 times harder for these dudes, man. And you know, this generation is built different too. Like, these young men, these young women, they built different. Like, you talk about emotional stability and all those different things, man. It's tough, man. I'm praying for them seriously because that's tough. Social media can be a bully, bro.
And you grew up in, well, you're 4 years younger than me and a little more younger than Earl. I wish I forget how old Earl is, I'll be honest. I think you're
I'm
8
10
years
younger than you, right?
Nobody believes my age.
Years?
Like, if I tell Real, I'm 37.
So he's 10 years
so I'm
younger.
10 years younger than you.
Yeah, Earl could be 24 too. Like he could pass.
Yeah, you.
But
hey,
you grew up the most in the social media era. Like, I know you're unfamiliar with this particular situation, but hearing what we've said about this, does any of it surprise you? Knowing, because you're 3 years older than she's 24 or 23, whatever it is. Are you surprised by any of that? Knowing today's culture in that scenario?
No, not really, and it sucks because like I'm not gonna judge her or him right now. I haven't seen any of it. I don't know. But, like, if you're going to date somebody who is a Travis Hunter caliber, I can't imagine you can be a jealous type and get through that okay in any way. And if you know you're a jealous type, then I don't know why you'd put yourself in that situation. And who knows? Maybe she knows and she's trying to grow out of it, and it's just a lot.
They're both young. I mean, they're incredibly young. Like
at 24, I don't know if I'd be able to handle that either. 23, especially 22, no way. And who knows? Maybe they need some media training. You know, when he gets to the league and stuff, I'm sure he'll have a little bit of extra help. I wouldn't and everybody. You talk about the 3 bad things back to back. Everybody has bad days. Like, I'm not sitting back here every day like joyful that I'm here. But you know, I get it. A Heisman's because I got to sit next to Mike. No, but like everybody has their bad days, right? Like. You got to be excited for a Heisman Trophy, though. That one's a little crazy, but everything else, everybody has their bad days. Everybody has their jealousies that they got to fight and their demons that they got to fight. So I'm sure they'll be fine. People on the internet just love to hate, and I was looking through Twitter while you guys were talking, and it's like we got to protect our Heisman from her. It's like, shut the hell up. Like, you don't know him, you don't know her, you're not his friend. You don't have to protect him from anything. He's a grown man. I'm sure they'll be fine.
One last thing, we'll wrap up here. I want your thoughts on it, but in today's day and age where almost everything is filmed, and you have certain people whose their lives are literally filmed 24 hours a day, like the streamers, the Twitch guys, Travis Hunter, who's part of that, who, whether it's at practice, during games, pregame warm-ups, the walk, he's probably got a camera in his face 12 hours a day at minimum, right? You're going to have these like human moments where you're not perfect and you show a side that isn't the side you'd want to portray. But I also think when we know there's a camera right there, right there, right there, right there, and right there. When you're at a Heisman ceremony, you know there's 1,000, like, I think you just got to be a little smarter, I guess is all I'm saying. Like,
got to read the room.
Yes.
Got to read the room, man.
Or when there's autographs and just put on a face. Trust me, you can avoid, I guess my advice, you can avoid so many of these situations if you get mad about it, not when the camera's staring at you.
My only thing I say is, you know, we've all been that age before, and we've all had to grow and learn through some hard experiences, man. But the best teachers in life are adverse situations. And so no matter if it hurts, no matter if it's painful, whatever the case may be, like, growth was never meant to be comfortable, right? It's always uneasy. It's always these type of situations. The key is just take these situations, learn the lessons that you meant to learn, and move on.
Facts. And final thoughts?
No, I'm going through that right now. Got to relearn how to live on my own. So,
congratulations. For the first time, college doesn't count, but for the first time as an adult, you are now living on your own outside of your parents' house.
Hardest part so far.
We all relearning something right now, all 3 of us. But you know what? We got each other, so we good.
The hardest part is deciding what I want to eat every day. I never know.
I'm still mad that you don't want to be here every day. We ain't know that.
Yeah. We're gonna have a behind the glass discussion.
I didn't want to be here. Actually, I was very excited to come back today because I spent 3 days basically by myself, and I was very excited to come back into work today.
We put a survey on the community tab of our YouTube page. We want your feedback to help us make UCSS even better than ever in 2025. We want to hear what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want more of, what you thought we did too much of. So that's on our community tab. It's also on our Twitter page, just to make sure you fill out that survey. It's like 7 questions. It'll take 2 minutes. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys on Sunday for a Browns 2-minute warning postgame show. Me, Earl G, and then the rest
Mike,
of
is
them.
this going up today?
What'd you say?
Is this going up today?
I'm going to put it up tomorrow morning. Saturday
Happy
morning.
belated birthday to my dad. He turned 68 on Friday.
Happy birthday, Mr.
Happy
Antonelli.
birthday, Mr. Antonelli.
The OG. He's got a great mustache, too.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
for sure.
Did he have a mustache when he moved the other day?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I thought he shaved. I didn't realize. But he does have a great mustache when he grows it out.
Peace.